Greetings and welcome to Chant Day. Oh my goodness, we are here. I am giving thanks for my safe journey to where I'm at now in Washington, D.C., in the capital. Okay. Thank you so much for joining. We're going to get started because I have a huge day today. I'm at a workshop, so I'm traveling, and I traveled yesterday, and the weather is such that we were delayed on the flight. And it's interesting because when the delay happened, people are grumbling, and I said, give thanks because you know best. I'm not going to complain. You know best. You're keeping us safe, So I am thankful for this ability to have a advocate that is greater and higher than myself, that gives the guidance and directs the paths. So in today's Psalm, it's 21, and Psalm 21 has 13 verses, and it is titled, "The King Rejoices in the Lord's Strength." So in translation, the king rejoices in the strength of the Most High, okay? And it's interesting, it's talking about the king. The king is a ruler, right? Even the ruler must rejoice in the Most High. It's a must. Even those who are in high elevations or have high statuses will rejoice in the strength of the Lord. It's gonna happen. That's gonna be the case. So let's get into it. Psalm 21. O Jah, O God, O Jesus, O Jehovah, the omnipotent one, the one that sent Melchizedek to bless Abraham, the one that spoke to Moses, the Father, the Almighty, the one Jesus spoke of and said, "It is not my will be done, it is my Father's will be done." So Yahweh, I call, in the Most High strength, the King rejoices. And in the Most High salvation, or the Most High's future, how greatly the King exalts! Exclamation mark. So this is a Psalm of David, Psalm 21. Then verse 2, the Most High have given the king's heart's desire, and have not withheld the requests of the king's lips, Selah. For the Most High meets the king with rich bless, and queen, we don't want to forget the queen, and rich bless, and has set a crown of fine gold upon the king's head and queen. Verse 4, the king asked life of the Most High, and the Most High gave life to the king and queen, length of days for all time to come. And verse 5, the Most High's glory is great. The king's glory, rather, is great through the salvation of the Most High. Splendor and majesty is bestowed on the king and queen. Now, does it sound familiar? Yes, it does sound familiar. For those who know that the Most High is king and queen, Alpha and Omega, the beginning without any end, because love and righteousness does not end. It's going to keep on keeping on. So this is representative of that Trinity. That's the Trinity it's talking about. And that Trinity represented in that king and queen. And that king and queen is going to rejoice in the Most High strength, because they are part of that knowledge and standing firm in that Most High. So we look at verse 6. For the Most High makes, for the Almighty make the most, for the Almighty makes the king most blessed, the king and queen most blessed for all time to come. You see how the pronouns are confusing? You, him, who is that? And people can get confused with that. So that's why I translate the psalm. So we look at verse 6 that for the king makes the most, for the Most High, the Almighty makes the king and queen glad with the joy of the Most High's presence. For the king and queen trusts in the Lord, in the Most High, and through the steadfast love of the Most High, the king shall not be moved. The king and queen shall not be moved. And in verse 8, the Most High's hand will find out all the king and queen's enemies. The Most High's righteousness, right hand, will find out those who do not love this Trinity, this king and queen, this Alpha and Omega. The Most High will make such ones who are haters a blazing oven when the Most High appears. The Most High will swallow such ones who are haters up in wrath, and fire will engulf these ones. Okay? Remember, fire burns the wicked. That's why who feels it knows it. If something burns you up, it's you have to assess that. You have to really look at that. Okay? So in verse 10, the Most High will destroy these haters' descendants from the earth, and these haters' offspring from among the children of man. Though these ones, these haters, because it talks about the Most High's righteousness is going to find out all those who hate you. You meaning the king and queen that rejoices in the Most High. That is going to be found. They're going to be found out. And even though these ones are planning evil against the king and queen of the Most High, though these ones devise mischief, okay, these ones will not succeed. So, why should you worry and be stressed about things? Because you have an advocate, right? So verse 12, for the Most High will put such ones to flight, and the Most High will aim at their faces with the Most High's bows, or the bow and arrow. That's what it was during that time. Verse 13, be exalted, O Jah, O Jehovah, Yahweh, in strength, in the Most High strength. I will chant songs of adulation and adoration for the power of the Most High, for the strength of the Most High, for the omnipotence of the Most High, for the great revealer that is the Most High and Redeemer. Okay? Remember, I talked about eating like kings and queens, and I talked about, we got to stop eating all the dead of the earth. I just saw in the news this rise that they killed a bunch of chickens because they found bird flu, and they're finding it in a cow. Be careful, people. Remember in Genesis, okay, in Genesis, the green herb was given for our food, not the animals, okay? Remember when the folks that Moses delivered rebelled, they wanted the food that they craved. And the Most High gave it to them, even though just to show them, look, I got you. Even though you want this dead flesh, I got you. I'm going to give you this manna. I'm going to give you the fowls of the air, the birds of the air. You're going to get food to eat. So because of that, we are now born again. We're born again from those times We have to go into a time now of cleanliness, cleaning out our bodies and our vessels, because this is a temple of the Most High. The Most High does not want debtors in that temple. It's life. Okay? So stop the chicken. That's why you think people got runny nose. They got mucus in their chest. They got all this, they can't breathe. Their breathing is impacted because of the foods that they're eating and the ingredients in the foods that they're eating. The US of A doesn't have any regulation when it comes to food. They can put anything in the food. Okay, there's no regulation. They can put a bunch of salt, sugar, preservatives, corn syrup and all that stuff that's making people sick. Okay, because it's tied to the healthcare system. It's all about greed. We're gonna make them sick so they can come to the doctor. We can take their money and their insurance, which is an illusion, and we're gonna get them from the cradle to the grave. We own them. They're gonna be our slaves, and they're not gonna know they're our slaves. Okay, we're gonna get them so tightly indoctrinated into foolish habits that these foolish habits, they're paying for it. You're gonna pay with the illusionary money, okay, for this, for the nastiness of this flesh of the earth. So this is the end of the Psalm. Selah and Selah again. I always ask that my words and my meditation is acceptable in the sight of the Most High. Because let me tell you, it's not acceptable to some folks out there. Some folks out there are stuck like Chuck in their ways, and they don't want the knowledge. They're like, I'm going to die anyway. Let me just go ahead and eat what I want because I'm going to die anyway. And it's like, what does Jesus talk about? He came to give life and give it in abundance. So why are you talking about that? About you're going to die anyway. Try to eat like Jesus. Okay, try. Stop, trying to be enslaved by food, by sex, by money, by, drugs, alcohol. Stop being enslaved by these things. So because when these things go away, what are you going to do? You're going to be gnashing your teeth. You're going to be beating yourself up. You have to fast from things. You have to allow your body, the milk, the eggs, the cheese, all of this. Cheese is the last thing for me to go. And I've been slowly weaning off of that cheese because I love some cheese. I love the cheesy cheese. But it's not good. It is not good for us to be eating that stuff. So I got to get some more hot water and make some more tea. This is roasted roots, okay, with lemon and honey. No sugar. I don't know when last I had sugar. I don't know when last I had some sugar. So I'm going to add some more tea in here. So that is our psalm today. And let's see what our word of the day is. I'm interested to see what that word of the day is. So our word of the day, I'm going to have to go on here. Our word of the day today, let's see. Today is the 4th. It's Thursday. Oh my goodness. Look what the word of the day is. Awaken. Wake up, people. Okay. The word of the day today is awaken. Awaken. I awaken to the divine possibilities within and all around I and I. Oh, I love that. I love it. Let me see. This isn't. Awaken. Okay. At times, my righteousness, can feel separate from daily life, making it easy to lose touch with I divine nature. Yet, even a small shift in I's thinking can create big effects. So, shift your thinking about food, it's going to create big effects. Strengthening I to awaken I true identity as a righteous being. Okay? Not even a human being. Yes, we're human, but we should be having a righteous experience. We should be doing good to each other. We should be loving each other, communicating with each other, okay? Talking with each other, and loving each other, telling each other, I love you, but God loves you more. That's what I always speak of. I love you, but guess who loves you even more than I can? Because I am in this humanity and there are flaws there. So my love is just a little, but the Most High's love is more than a little. It is innumerable, immensible, just immeasurable. So that's why we always tell children, I always tell children, seek after the love of God first before you go trying to, get a girlfriend or a boyfriend or love up with someone. Build that relationship with the Most High first. And I'm talking from experience because, I spoke on this channel about my dad spoke, I didn't listen to my dad marrying someone 23 years older than me instead of seeking for what's above. Okay. And I got, that's another video. And that's a whole nother video. So I am, not perfect. So because of the transformation and because of the that changing of the mind strengthened me to know that it was never about human being. It was always about the Most High and what that love doesn't deny, So I am thankful, and it speaks of in the word today, awaken, right? The more time that I give to I righteous practices. This is a righteous practice, chanting the psalm, and I go live, okay? Because I go live so I can listen to it later, right? And it benefits some folks out there that are listening. The Most High bless that it's benefiting those. I cannot speak for the Most High in terms of what is to be. The Most High knows what is to be. Some is going to listen and some is not. Some are going to take heed and some is not. I cannot judge anyone in terms of how they eat, how they live, and that's what they do. I know I'm going to eat and I'm going to live in a different way because of what was revealed to me and I'm sharing with others today. So the more time that you give to your righteous practice, the more you're going to recognize the Most High in every person and situation. Okay? Each day I slow my pace and connect. Not even connect. I don't want to use the word con, but I speak with God. In the silence, I commune with righteousness and awaken to the presence of God within and the power of I divine gifts. This is how you're going to know what your gifts are, people, when you are in that relation with the Most High. And that relation is having that community with God within the power of your own divine gifts. Every moment becomes an opportunity to infuse the mundane with righteous awareness. We have this mundane. We got to get up. We got to brush our teeth. We got to, clean the house. When we eat, we got to wash the dishes. These are things that we have to do. So when you're doing these things, do it with a righteous awareness. Keep your mind on what is above. Even when you're cleaning the toilet. When I'm cleaning the toilet, I'm in there, I'm cleaning the toilet, and I'm like, oh, Most High, thank you for giving me a place where I can do this, and I'm thankful that I can be able to, have that human experience on the toilet, right? So that awakeness, that awareness, I awaken to the oneness of all that is and take place in that oneness. And then the interesting part of the word of the day is James chapter 1, verse 25. But those who look into the perfect law, the law of liberty, and persevere, being not hearers who forget, but doers who act, these ones will be blessed in their doing. Drop the mic on that one. Oh my goodness, give thanks. I am giving thanks continually for James chapter 1, verse 25. Check it out. Those who look into the perfect law, okay, in terms of how you talk to people, how you engage with others, how you put God first and you seek for what's above, looking for that perfect law, the law of liberty, the law of persevering and persevere. Once you look for that law, that perfect law, and persevere in that law, because people are going to try to shut you down and be like, man, eat some chicken. Man, and you're like, no. I'm trying to go into the perfect law. I'm trying to eat like a Nazarene, a Nazarite, whatever it's called, they call that, just are looking at that ancient life of in Genesis where the green plant is going to be your food. That is what you look, right? So in that, when you persevere in that law, people are going to fight you down, okay? And you're not just hearers of you're not just listening to the word, going to church, hearing the word, and then you come out and you're doing something different. You forget. So James is talking about, don't be hearers who forget, but be doers who act, okay? And these ones who are persevering and who are not just hearers, but they're doers, they will be blessed in what they're doing. Okay? They're going to be blessed in what they're doing. So I'm at a workshop, and I'm not going to boast about anything about myself, but I'm using myself as an example of persevering. Okay? People talk about me. They talk about me behind my back. They call me names. They do this. They say this. They say that. Why this? Why she got it? Why? She going too far? She's extra, blah, blah, blah. But guess what? I have been blessed in what I'm doing. As an assistant professor, as a Black woman-owned business, I have a business, not just I'm a professor, but I also have my own business. I'm going to start putting it in my description. So you can go to my website, www.neguseducation.com, neguseducation.com, because education is king, okay? That is what's going to free you from the enslavement of mental bondage, is education, and not just taking whatever. Education is not just a taking or not, receiving, but it's also researching. It's also reading, okay? And talking about reading, we looked at the word of the day, that is awaken, and we're going to look at Max Lucado, the verse of the day, The verse of the day today, let's see what it is. It's from Ephesians, one of my favorite books. Ephesians chapter 1, verse 7. Okay, and Ephesians chapter 1, verse 7 speaks of in him. Who is him? Him is the Most High, okay, the Almighty, His Imperial Majesty. If you want to look at him, H, him, his, I, Imperial, M, Majesty, His Imperial these are hints, okay? And His Imperial Majesty, the Most High, the Almighty, is not just male, but also female, okay? King and Queen. I was traveling and I was stuck at the airport for like 4 hours or something like that, and I met a couple, a husband and a wife, and they just emanated the Most High. They're from New Jersey. They're going to Vegas. They were so sweet. But I looked at them then they sat with me and talked to me, and that was the Most High, because the Most High is King and Queen, man and woman. Even though some people may have the same partner, the same gender, the Most High is representative as male and female, and that doesn't mean any other unions are forbidden. It means that we have to adore and highlight this King and Queen. Okay, so in the Most High, I have redemption through the Most High's blood that was shed and the fire that Moses saw, the forgiveness of sins in accordance with the riches of God's grace. It's not talking about the riches of money. It's talking about the riches of God's grace. Ephesians chapter 1, verse 7. So these are important when we look at this Almighty One that is omnipotent, that's representative. God created I in God's image, and that image is male and female, because some of us are male and some of us are female. And that is the father and the mother, right? So I have to get another cup of tea. So let's look at Max Lucado, and this is for April 4th. It's the 4th? I thought it was the 6th already. I don't know. And Max Lucado's for April 4th is talking about the cross of Jesus. So it's from Galatians chapter 6, verse 14. Through the cross of Jesus, my world was crucified, and I died to the world. Wow, that is powerful. That's deep. Galatians 6, chapter 14. So Max Lucado kind of explains what this scripture means. It wasn't the Romans who nailed Jesus to the cross. It wasn't the Jewish religion who took him up the hill of Calvary. It wasn't spikes that held Jesus to the cross. What held him to that cross was Jesus's stern approach that was necessary, that Jesus becomes sin, that Jesus who is pure becomes sin, and that the wrath of God be poured down, not upon the creation, but upon the Creator. So Max Lucado, he looks at Jesus as God himself, that Jesus could have taken himself off the cross and could have done that, but coming to earth as a physical human being and suffering as a human being for the people was the purpose. And some people may not believe that story in terms of that suffering, but remember that the Almighty is omnipotent, and the Almighty is powerful and supernatural. Just as revealed when Moses came up to the mountain and the fire of bush was burning and it wasn't being consumed. So the Most High can turn the Most High self into anything. Okay? Anything. And that Most High is powerful. I have seen human beings come to me and help me, and then they disappear. I'm like, where did that person go? And this has happened. People were in car accidents. God forbid, I don't want anybody out there in any accidents. And somebody rescued them, and then they're looking around and can't find the person again. So the Most High is omnipotent and comes in a divine order all the time. So that's why Max Lucado is talking about it wasn't the Romans, it wasn't the Jewish religion, it wasn't the spikes, it wasn't this that held him to the cross. It was his conviction. And I don't want to use that word conviction, so I'm going to see what another word. It's a declaration, because Jesus came to declare. Okay, it's a formal declaration, and it's a verdict. So it was necessary that Jesus become that sin, that he who is pure becomes sin, right? And that the wrath of the Most High be poured, and that blood that was shed, not upon creation, but upon that creator. So we talk, and people talk about the blood. The blood has the final speaking. The blood of that one that was sacrificed, and when that one was released from that blood, okay, that was shed, that one now said, look, I'm coming, returning as a King of Kings. I'm coming, returning with fire. It's not going to be no more water and a flood. It's going to be a blazing fire. Okay? So when I look at the blood and I look at the fire, it's powerful. It is powerful because they both represent Jesus. Okay? They both. So in terms of when we look at this blood, why are we eating the blood of animals? Why are we doing that? Why are we eating the blood of animals? The corrugated blood of an animal. Why is that the case? So it's interesting to me. And I share this all the time because I look at the fire as cleansing. It speaks of in the scriptures that we're going to purify the words in the fire 7 times. And in that purification, that is Jesus. That's the second coming of Jesus. People are waiting for Jesus in the way he was. He's not that way. He has been transformed, okay, into this blazing fire that's encompassing. Read Revelation, okay? Read Revelation. It's going to tell you. John, when he was held in prison, he wrote Revelation. So read that. Oh, the psalm is ending. And that we did the verse of the day from Ephesians chapter 1, verse 7, about the forgiveness of sins. So when people say, oh, Jesus, forgive me, Jesus already forgave you. Now it's for you to go and sin no more. Go and sin it no more. Yes, go ahead and acknowledge. Yes, I sins have been forgiven. Now I gonna go yard up into Mount Isla and be happy and do good, right? There's a chant that goes, I sins are all forgiven. I gon' yard in a Mount Isla. One perfect love is to open Jaja door. One perfect love is to open Jaja door. To all who hail Haile Selassie the first on their way. For I sins are all forgiven. I go yard in the Mount Isla. For one perfect love is to open Jaja door. So, give thanks. Your sins are all forgiven. Now go and sin no more in thoughts, in the way you speak, and in the way you move and your actions. Let them be free of sin because you are forgiven through that. So when you call Jesus, remember you're calling on a sin forgiver. Okay? Now that new Jesus, the one that was raised and walked into Galilee, okay, and was transformed into this King of Kings through the line of David, not the lie, through the heritage of David, came and revealed that you have an advocate. Now we have been born again to go and sin no more, right? And we go and do that. We go and sin no more. So give thanks. As we close, we're going to close with Chant a Psalm a day. But go ahead and chant a Psalm a day. Yes. Give thanks for joining. I want to give thanks for all of you joining. Subscribe to this channel. Like this channel. And we will be here again to chant a Psalm a day.